Neither side has decided yet, finally, that they don't want him there next season. But it's more complex than that. The finances are very complex for a start. Leicester, if they were to sack Ruud van Nistelrooy and his backroom staff right now, they would have to pay his compensation out of this current financial year's accounts. And the fact is, they haven't budgeted to pay a big amount of money to pay a manager and his team off. They'd already done so with Steve Cooper and his team back in November. It could potentially send Leicester over their PSR limit for the current financial year, I understand. So they want to get through until the 1st of July at least. And Van Nistelrooy himself has another 2 years left on his contract. And we know managers don't walk away from deals if they've got a job in hand. He doesn't want to walk away without compensation. So I suspect that whilst there's going to be discussions between him and his bosses at Leicester later this week, they will come to an arrangement where, OK, we both know that this relationship isn't going to work going forward in the Championship. Van Nistelrooy doesn't want to manage in the Championship. Leicester have other ideas about who they might want to take charge in the Championship. But I think it's going to take a few weeks before that pans out. I think you have to remember as well that Leicester are in a terrible situation. They're going to have to make an awful lot of changes. And to that end, they're already putting a shortlist in place for possible candidates to replace Ruud van Nistelrooy, I understand. And the names on that shortlist include Lee Carsley, Danny Röhl and Russell Martin. Two of those three are already in work, aren't they? Carsley at the FA and Danny Röhl at Sheffield Wednesday. And we know there's interest in him potentially from Southampton and even Norwich today, who changed their manager. So there's a difficult situation for Leicester here. When do they jump? When do they look at the options they might have to replace Ruud van Nistelrooy? How quickly do they make that decision? What can they afford? And who do they ultimately want to go for? Because it feels whoever they go for after Van Nistelrooy will be an absolutely key decision.